All of you are into mutual funds, all of you are into ETFs and making money there, which is great. But how does it happen? How to make that industry better? What's a view? And nobody better than Nishant today, who's joining us. Nishant is the Chief AI Officer of Mirae, and it's a firm with Korean heritage and one of the most largest firms in globally in this industry. And they are on an absolute hyperdrive to work with AI, to leverage technology, and let's learn more for that. Nishant, welcome, please. Guys, a great round of applause for Nishant. Please.
Yeah. Thanks, Jayati, thanks.
No, thank you for... so we were just in a... we cooped Nishant up as soon as he came in, and thank you for the insights, and thank you for the lovely conversations that we've having and great patience that you have. Nishant, just to introduce the audience to you, these are all the young minds that you see working, changing the industry and delivering, fantastic stuff for you to work on. So the idea is to tell them what the industry is. You've been a veteran of not just the capital market industry, but also technology per se. So give us a view of, what's happening in the capital market space. Traditionally, what has been the technology intake in that area, and what is changing, and how are you changing that, and how can we, as your partners, make that happen? It's a longish question, but kind of over time.
No, sure. Yeah, thanks, Jay. And it's a Friday evening, so we don't want to take a lot of time. But yeah, I would like to share, my experience with this industry. So I've been in financial services all throughout. So it's a career of more than 2 decades, and I've been seeing this industry since 1999. So I don't look very old, but yeah, I've been in the industry.
That is another question that we'll ask you later.
Yeah. So I'm actually 47. I look 37. So I've been here for 25 years, and the way I've seen the capital market industry evolve in terms of tech, so we have seen as consumers of tech, we have seen the technology over here, like in terms of apps and in terms of we have seen the front end as a consumer point of view, but at the back end also, like I remember the days like in say 2008 or 9 where so I've been looking at the financial data for capital markets since that time. It's been 15 years, and during those time we used to have we used to work on SaaS and SPSS, so there were some tools not known today. So we used to we used to work a lot on Excel sheets. We used to work on macros. We used to do financial modeling even at that time. It used to be very bespoke at that point of time, because so this is 2008 and 9, 15 years ago. There was no cloud. There was no Snowflake, no cloud. And as I was talking to Ritesh earlier today, so Quantiphi itself is a firm which is a cloud-only firm. Like it started in 2013, and I'm talking about 2008 and 9 when it was all on-prem. The data used to be in Excel. There used to be a lot of number crunching that used to happen on Excel. And I still remember my Black-Scholes model that we had built in Excel, and the first model which I tested, and then I felt so happy. Building a model at that point of time. And the way tech has evolved, like today, with the emergence of cloud, with the emergence of firms like Snowflake, where a huge amount of data is now available at fingertips. At that point of time, we didn't have the data, and so now the art of the possible is there, with all of us. So we as consumers, it's all in our hands. And so earlier at that point of time, it was very difficult to get hold of data as well. The data was not available, publicly, and the quant folks like used to be working in financial services firm. There were no vendors who were like supporting the quants. Like it used to be very in-house. Like today we see a lot of products and platforms and insights that are being developed by say firms like Quantiphi. So I see cloud as one wave of technology. Then I see like firms like Snowflake, which came around the same time, and now with Gen AI, which has like completely revolutionized. Uh, and why Gen AI? Because the data and content was always there. Like it was always there, but what we lacked at that point of time was the capability, to mine the data, the annual reports, the public documents, the news articles. So there was a lack of capability to mine the data and to generate insights, which is now like available, using Gen AI. And the reason why Gen AI is very popular, like with the board and with the top leadership, is because they see the value. They see the value. The value has not been demonstrated because it takes time and effort, but there is a value. The value has been communicated. People understand. They know it. Yes, there are apprehensions because people say that the data or the models have been trained on content which itself like is not very reliable. The content could be biased. The content is not accurate. But those things are getting ironed out, and I'm sure within 6 months or 1 year we would be able to solve those problems. So yes, with technology, I think. The capital market today is very different. Today the capital market, say for example, there was no role that I am in today. So there was no role earlier. Like there was no chief AI officer, there was no AI team. There used to be quant analysts who used to be part of the business teams, and there used to be tech teams. Now, we are proud to be sitting in the middle. We are neither, within the tech nor within the business. And this is this is the new role which has been created in the industry. And as usual, financial services industry has been a pioneer in like any new technology, in any new change in business model. So I see that like this is a good opportunity, for us to bring about the change. And I hope I have answered your question. Yeah.
No, actually, you mentioning the chief AI officer itself is an innovation, right, which has come in right now. So how are your end users taking? How are you pushing the agenda of AI adoption? And what's the response that you're getting?
Yeah.
How is it looking like from a business user
No,
perspective?
everybody. Yeah. So the excitement is everywhere. Everybody is excited about AI, and so I would give you one insight because we work in, so as a as an industry, we work in like thematic research, and so we identify what are the top themes in the world today. There are various things happening in the world, and I will tell you that AI is the top theme today based on our own analysis of what are the top themes in the world. And it is not just India, it is globally, whether it is Korea, US, Australia. There's a reason for it, that AI is the top theme. And so everyone is excited about it, like everyone wants to understand more about it. Everyone has a view on AI, and like my daughter has a view on AI, my relatives have a view on AI, media has a view on AI, everybody has a view on AI. So it is important for people working in AI to talk about AI, because then, they propagate the right views and the world moves in the right direction. So I think it is important that, we have these events and we talk about what exactly is AI and how it is helping the organization. And I think this is what we are doing, today within our organization itself. Like we are, talking to each business heads. We are like trying to explain, say the advantages of AI and how AI is like different from your tech, which has been there in the last 2 decades, and why it is the next wave, like over the next 10 years. So this is something that we have been conversing. So people are excited, but they don't know, exactly what it is. So that is where I think the role, my role, my team's role is to articulate the advantages of AI and the risks with AI and how we can overcome those risks.
No, it's like in India, everybody has an opinion on how Sachin should bat.
Absolutely.
Right? So we are privileged to have Sachin talk about it, in terms of you sharing all this. So thank you for this. But what is exciting you? I mean, the business is getting excited. Personally, what is exciting you on this whole AI front, particularly you being the chief AI officer of this large house, large enterprise? What's the fun part of this?
So, see, the fun part is to be in the middle of the storm. So that's the like if you. So as I said, like AI is the most disruptive trend. It is the theme which is going to change the world. So why not be part of the theme? So like why not like join the AI bandwagon? So I've been talking about this in every event, and I've been talking in colleges, and I tell the students that instead of having apprehensions. If you know that AI is going to change the world, it's the game changer. You be part of it, and I think the fun is in changing the world. Like we don't want to be static, and what worked like 10 years ago will not work today. So this is something which I keep telling. So people always come back with the same old solutions, the same old thinking. Because in their life, in their experience, what has worked 10 years ago, they feel that. I got successful by doing this 10 years ago, it will work today. It won't. And we recently came to know with the kind of elections that happened, so all our opinion polls, exit polls, they fail. So if you apply, older models and older techniques on new data, or if you don't understand things well, you will always, be on the back foot. So I think like you have to change, and so if you love change, if you want to be the disruptor, this is the best place to be in. And like what worked in say 2000, what worked in 2010 is not going to work in 2024. Things are going to change. The sooner you accept it, I think it's better, and it's better for you as your like personal growth and for the company as well.
No, that actually. This is the next question perfectly goes into that. We have a young crowd, extremely talented, extremely passionate. They are part of the tech industry, and nothing stops them from, growing and learning more about everything in the world. What's your word of advice? Most of them are dabbling in AI. They are experts in their own fields. What would be your word of advice? You've seen the last 37 years, so to speak, but how's the future looking for them? What are the areas that they should focus, and what's the attitude that you think they should continue having? Maybe a few words of advice, please.
No, I think they're there at the right place at the right time. So when I started my career in 1999, 2000, so there was a dot-com boom. So for me it was very unfortunate. Like when I did my engineering, there was a dot-com boom, and the tech was affected. Then when I did my MBA in 2008, there was a financial boom, and my finance career was affected. So it took me a lot of time to come back, and so I got affected twice. But I feel like this particular folks at this point of time, they are there at the right place at the right time. They are there in the right country. We are very stable, like within India and within Asia. We don't know what will happen in the US or the Europe, but like we are like more stable. So you're there in the right place. You're there in the right part of the wave. And so if you understand the wave, if you accept the change, and if you ride the wave, so I love the term ride the wave. See, rather than being a critic or say rejecting the wave or going back to old ways, understand the wave and ride the wave, so that 10 years down the line, you don't feel that I missed the bus. Because there are people who have missed the bus, technology bus, or they have missed the cloud bus. Don't miss the AI bus, so you ride the wave and you're there at the right time. And see, the beauty of AI is the skills required are not singular, and so that is where AI is different from your like pure play tech or say business role. Like AI requires skills which are very plural, and so you need skills about a domain. If you're applying AI in financial services domain, you need understanding of data, understanding of so depending on the area. Like if you're in the medical world, you need understanding of tech. Like you need to be a a coder, you need to understand domain, you need to understand, different areas of business. So the skills required are plural, and I think within India we are born to have plural skills, because we have people, like we have students who are very good in maths and history, and we have someone who's very good in physics and Sanskrit. So we are always plural, like we have multiple skills, and you need that in AI. So maybe the say Western world, US or UK, they have deep skills. They are deep in one skill. They do a PhD in biotechnology, but they don't know about the world. We as Indians, we are very quick in, and we're also quick in applying skills. If you look at the kind of apps that we have some 2,000 apps just for delivery of food and stuff, which is not there in New York or London. So we are very good in applying skills to solve problems, and I think that is where we are going to lead in AI. Like it is not, say if you are an expert, like in a singular skill, you may not do well in AI. You would have to apply the skills, and hence you need, those plural skills which we have as Indians by default. We have that. So I think we are there in the right place to lead in the world of AI, and I think the future, like in the next 10 years, like we'll see it happen.
I think that's an applause that we have to give to ourselves. And thank you, Nishant, for this. But personally, if you were to use AI and any dream app that you would want to have for AI, do you want a smart assistant, smarter assistant rather, or a self-driving car? What's the kind of your dream wish from an AI application for your personal use?
For my, my dream is like slightly aligned with what I do for a living. It is around themes. It's around knowing, where is the wave, Yeah, so that's something that I'm looking for it, like even in my financial world, but even in the personal world today, so there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of content out there. How do you know that what is the, say, right problem which is affecting, or, what is the right problem to solve? Like if you are, if you're passing out of college, if you are starting up, what is the right problem? So today to find that, like it is like finding a needle in the haystack. So if I am able to use Gen AI or AI to say identify the right problem to solve, to identify the right themes today in the world, to identify the right say where do I invest my money in, so all these are related to like what is the right segment, what is the right area, and so for me as well, that is something that I'll keep looking for. If there is some solution that I can build, or if there is a solution that anyone can build, which will help us identify, like out of the noise, declutter the noise. So today, as I say in every event, like today, like we are not facing the problem of some, we have a problem of plenty. Like when I started my career in 99, 2000, we had a few TV channels. So we had very less, TV to watch. We had very few books. The internet had just started. There was no Facebook, so like we didn't have stuff to read at that point of time. Now today, my daughter says that there's some 200 channels and there's nothing to watch. There is huge amount of content on Google, but like we're not sure what is right, what is wrong. So today the problem today is a problem of plenty, and I think the solution is if you can find a needle in the haystack, like what is the real need of the hour, and so that is where AI comes in today. So today it is not rocket science to create a new app. You already have 200 apps. So like today the world doesn't need a new app or a gateway or a platform. It is more about like finding the needle in the haystack, and that is what we need in our business and as well as personally.
So basically something that understands where you are and what you need at that moment in time, and
Absolutely. Like I'm walking on a road, and like how do I know that if there's a restaurant nearby? So like finding information which I couldn't say 10 years, 20 years back. So finding that information, like for example, say there is, say my neighbor is looking at investing in mutual fund, but I don't know. I am the neighbor, but I don't have the information that I need to sell my fund to this guy. Like he's living next door, because we are not connected in that way. So how do I, how do I know? And I think this is something where, like, I have, all of us are there on, or on social media, but I don't know, who's interested in what product. And that is where AI comes in. Like, AI comes in your, targeted marketing, in your, say, identifying your personas. Um, if you look at it everywhere, there are applications of AI. Like, wherever you touch, there are applications of AI. And I think personally also, it's going to help. And this is why there is a wave of AI. So there are a lot of problem statements which the world has understood. Now no one disagrees. Whether it is US, UK, India, everybody agrees because there are problem statements which AI can solve. Yeah, people have apprehensions. People feel that it is a technology wave, it is blockchain, blockchain died and hence AI will die. So my view, AI is not blockchain, first of all. And AI, see the reason why, and AI is not a technology, so I will, so there are people, like I've gone in meetings and I've started my session saying that AI is not technology. And that has shocked a lot of people. They said, I thought AI was technology. No, AI is not technology. AI is not blockchain. AI is not data. So that is where AI is a combination of, plural skills. You are going to apply technology to compute. You're going to build model. You need understanding of data, documents. You need to understand the domain. You need to understand like philosophy, psychology, everything. So everything has to be understood for AI. And if you fail to understand everything and you think of it as a technology, you will fail. Okay, and that is why people have apprehensions. But if you are able to understand and solve the problem, you will succeed.
I think that's very, very beautifully put. And, all the concepts of design thinking that we learned over the years to kind of identify the 1,000-gram items and connecting the dots. So all that kind of beautifully comes together into this AI canvas.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this has always been an ask. So I've been in the industry for 25 years, and so we have had data. Like I was part of building the core banking applications. Like in 99, 2000, the big buzz was like building a core banking application. So I was working with ICICI, like building their like Finacle platform. Then I was with FlexCube for HDFC. Because that. So the wave at that time was building an app. Getting a UI was a eureka moment. Database skills were like eureka moment. We always knew that there is some data out there which we are not looking into. We are not monetizing the data. We are not, organizing the data. But I think the need was what, see, the world needed platforms. The world needed a Google search engine. The world needed all these apps. Now we've got it. Now we have got it. Now the world doesn't need any more apps or, we don't need. Now the data that we have to make sense of the data. We have to like understand. See, like today we face the difficulty to understand what is true or what is right and wrong. What is true, like what is the right theme. So those are the problems which have, they have been left unsolved. Because as tech community, we were building platforms, containers, pipelines and gateways. We never looked into the data. We never looked into like what is the need of the hour. So I think we delayed a bit, but now people have understood that what we need is more on AI, and AI is not technology. AI is understanding the data, understanding various other like ecosystem, and then determining like what is the next decision to be taken. So AI is all about decision making. Like how can we help any stakeholder to take a right decision? Whether you are applying to a college, like how do you take the right decision? Whether you want to go and select a doctor, how do you take the right decision? Whether you want to invest in a fund, it is all about, decision making. How can AI help you to take the right decision? That cannot be done by technology. Like technology had a wave. We did well with Infosys, TCS, Wipro. That wave is done. Now, if they also are looking for growth, they have to think about AI. So it is no longer about all the funding and investments globally are in the name of AI. So no one is looking at building the next tech platform or a solution without AI. I think everybody has understood that.
So what I heard from that is Quantify, it's our time now. All the big guys have done what needed to be done for the past 20 years. And Nishant, I remember SBI used to have these bank master servers in each branch. Imagine, right? And we kind of modernized that. So I think I'm your contemporary in that sense of it. I've seen those waves happening.
No, absolutely. So those waves, so I've been part of those waves. I've started my coding career with C++, C and Unix and, shell script. And so at that point of time, that was the wave. The wave was like working on a like Oracle database, like creating, tables and, creating UI. Now, if you are doing it in 2024, you're late, I mean, this is not the wave today. And, we have already done it like 25 years ago. So, I mean, for the youngsters today, don't think of just creating an app, like solving simpler problems. No, you have to look and you have to solve the more complex problems. We have made mistakes. As a generation, we have skipped the advantages of data science. We always knew the theory always existed. The theory around data science has been there for many years. Your statistical theories have been there. We as industry were very late in actually applying and, adopting. We felt we will go and create some 2000 apps first. Then we'll think of, what we can do with the data. So I think that is where we have been a bit late, but now it's the right time where, like, can we, combine, like our tech skills, our platform skills, with our understanding of data, statistics and data science to generate value. And that is where AI comes in. Where, so all your traditional quant people who were like working in isolation, now I think they've got an opportunity to work, with tech and business and, to take advantage of AI.
So what I'm hearing is that you feel this is absolutely a leapfrog moment.
Yes.
And I think India plays a stellar picture in that. So with your view of the financial services industry overall in India, and this moment that is available for us to leapfrog, what are the, leapfrog to what? As in, what are the 5-6 things that you see would kind of be game changers, and whether it is connecting Bharat to India or whether it is taking India to, say, become the top 3 economy or some goal, right? Yeah. What kind of things do you see happening, and how we can contribute together from both sides of the ecosystem to make that happen?
I think a lot of things. So I'll talk about my sector. So in the financial services sector as well, so there will be need for, so the moment if all the firms are looking at AI and Gen AI, so there was a question around what would be the roles of people, what would they do? Because everybody cannot be a data scientist or a AI developer. So so my view is that there will be a lot of opportunities in the ecosystem, because like to run a Gen AI model or to create a model or, to create an AI product, you need a lot of, so you need content, for a Gen AI model, you need content. Now today there is no content provider. Like for example, today there is no one who stores content and curates and then provides it to firms like us or AI, for building models. And for example, data providers today, if you go back in history, like in 1980, there was no Bloomberg. Bloomberg didn't exist. Bloomberg came up, because there was a need for all these financial services firm, like all these firms were maintaining the data themselves, your JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. So then there was a need that can there be a firm like Bloomberg which can store and maintain market data and then sell it to these vendors. Then we had rating agencies which came up, so we had like companies. So if you see the industry around financial data also evolved in the US. I think in India, there will be new set of firms which will come up, which will, just provide data for your modeling, or they will provide content. Like today, because those firms are not there. And I think that is like one example. So there are many examples in healthcare. Like you touch any sector, so you will need data around, say, the doctors all over India, your pharma products all over India. I think the next set of thought startups would be data and content providers where you are able to, curate and get the information, and you are able to provide it to your data scientists, and who can generate value, and then you are able to test and validate. So there's an ecosystem around AI which will create jobs, and this ecosystem will be in every sector. So if you have domain knowledge in healthcare or finance or media, you will play that role. And similarly, media and movie making, you need content to work with AI. So I think if people, the sooner they realize that there is a lot of jobs, like don't keep doing the manual job that you are doing today, thinking AI will automate and it will make you jobless. You try to look for a role where, like, can you provide content, to the AI scientists, or can you look at validating the AI result because of your domain knowledge? So there will be a lot of roles which will be created, and I think that's going to happen in the next 10 years.
So the future is bright and the future
Absolutely,
is strong.
the future is bright. So there will be jobs. The only thing is people don't know what kind of jobs. Like nobody has drawn this out. The examples that I've given, unfortunately, it has not been spoken explicitly, and hence people don't understand that, what are those jobs and how will it happen.
Well, this is absolutely brilliant, and we have an audience that is at the cusp of it, right? So it's a brilliant white space that they have to develop skills at and develop depth at. So with your permission, Nishant, if I can open the forum and see if there are some questions. Guys, over to you. Any questions?
Hi Nishant. Hi. Very good evening and thank you for your time today. Walking into the room, I was really excited because you and I share the same engineering college and the MBA college. So I was very touched upon and wanted to hear from a fellow alum. So Nishant, one question to you is when we talk about AI, right? You would be coming across many use cases, right? And nowadays, there's a lot of talk around responsible AI as well, right? So how do you draw the line and what are the steps you usually take to make sure you're not stepping over the line of maybe ethics or transparency and so on?
Well, absolutely, and I think this is a very valid question, and this question should be addressed by people working in AI, because if you don't talk, see, the unfortunate part about AI is the AI scientists or the data scientists are not very vocal, because we want to actually be doing the work rather than going and talking, and the rest of the world is very vocal. So, see, we have to be very careful about AI, is because we are using data and we are using content to run our models to generate insights. And like, we shouldn't be using any content or data without permission. Like if you're using a data of our customers, we need to get their consent. The consent can change at any moment. We need to explain to them the consent properly, not the way the banks do it today, where it's very difficult to read what. So I think we need to be very explicit in terms of seeking consent, explaining to customers like what we're going to do with their data, and like seeking frequent consents, so that the customers know that their data is being used, for insight purpose. And if we tell them that we are going to use your data to, target some products for you, so that you benefit, what you need at this point of time. Like today, if you look at India, there's lack of awareness about mutual funds, about loans, about insurance. People don't know. So people want to be targeted, but they don't want to be targeted in the way that we are targeting today. Like today, when I get calls from, Bajaj Finance and personal loans, and I'm fed up, so that's not the way that we want to target. We want to target using AI and not using cold calls. And using AI is, we target only those who need it and those who will, appreciate or convert. So that is where lies the beauty of AI. So I think as a responsible AI practitioner, we need to be very clear of what is the data that we are going to use, who owns that data, and hence we need to set up the data governance within the organization or outside. We cannot just pick any data for our modeling. We need to be very clear who owns the data, like do we have the consent, and is the data reliable, is the data unbiased. Bias today is one of the biggest issue in the world today, and there is a hope that like AI will reduce the bias. There is a hope in the world, but then there is a concern that the AI models are trained on data which is biased. Now again, there is some movement happening in terms of how can you remove bias from the content and the model. So the work is happening, but it's a big problem, whether you are like selecting for interviews, whether, for any decision today, like there's a lot of bias. Every human is biased. I mean, if anyone who denies and says I'm unbiased, the person is wrong. So like, as human, you are biased based on your experience, based on, your past, your upbringing. And so I see it as an opportunity that like AI, will reach us to a state where it will be unbiased. It will take decisions which are, if not completely, but close to unbiased. And there is work that needs to happen, like from the front of AI and as well as in terms of data governance. Yes, so this part is very important, and this part, if it is taken care, then I think it will address the concerns of people. The concerns of people is that their data will be misused. There will be deep fake videos. There will be, some pirating of their PI information. So if those concerns are addressed, like as a company or as a government, and I feel there needs to be laws as well, to address those concerns. Like today we don't have those laws.
Anybody else? Do we have another question? One last before we wrap the session.
Hi Nishant, thank you for spending time with us today. I think it was Sundar Pichai who said the human's greatest invention after fire is artificial intelligence. And since you are from the financial sector background, I would like to ask you from the retail investor's point of view, if we have to safeguard our investments, how do you think AI can help us there?
Yeah. So if you have to safeguard your investments,
Investments into, it could be equities, it could be, the firms that we are planning to put into. Sometimes we see that we have poured in good amount of money, and for some reasons, what is happening in the management inside the organizations, which we are not privy to, and the retail investors like
no,
us
absolutely.
are
I think,
doomed.
Yeah. So I think your question is around. So there is a risk of using, say, if I have a AI-driven strategy, which is a black box, where the customer doesn't understand how his money is invested, and if you have and we tell the customer that we have created a quant fund or a quant model, and we have applied the best algorithm, but then there are always risks that something could go wrong tomorrow, based on how the market moves. Yes, then such risks and apprehensions are there with the customer, and I think customers want to know that how his or her money is being invested, and that's because I feel that customers also are becoming aware and they want to learn. See, it is not that the customers don't want to understand the working of a firm like us, of mutual fund industry or the models that we use. They want to know, and hence I think if you ask me, like my view is to be as explanatory as possible. Like if I'm building models or if I'm building strategies, to invest like the money of my customer, I would want it. See, I would want it to explain to the customer, like in layman terms, this is what we have done, and say these are the risks and like these are the measures. I don't want it to be like a black box where I guarantee some good returns for the short term, but some huge risks, like in case, say the market moves elsewhere. So that is where, so there is a debate in the industry where should we go for explainable models or, black box models which are like more rewarding, but the customer doesn't know what's going on, And I think the best way is where you make your models more explainable, where the customer understands where their money is going, and like everybody is growing, and so that's one way that like you give some assurance to the customer that like we have selected the right approach for you. We are investing in your portfolio, your portfolio has been created by an AI model, but this is the distribution for, for these reasons. So if we are able to explain the reasons and the why part, then I think the customers, they get an assurance. And I think more often than not, what happens is if you just go and tell the customer that like this is what it is, and if the why is missing, so then the customer gets anxious, and I think everybody is getting educated today. So as a customer also, people are reading, people are becoming aware, people have questions, they want to know. So our business stakeholders also, they want to go more and more deeper into the AI. Like, they want to understand the algorithm, they want to understand that why we have chosen something. So we, like from the AI world, it is not our job, just to apply a model and give an output. We have to be explaining the why behind it. The more we can explain the why, that why certain decisions I am taking, and so I think that is difficult. It is not very easy. Like some of the rookie data scientists would find it very easy to just apply a model on some data and take decisions. But I think you need more sophistication, to make it more explanatory, and simplicity is the best sophistication. So if you can make it more simple and more explainable, the more like better it is for the customer. Yeah.
Thank you. This was a wonderful time, Friday evening, and we are very grateful for you to spend with us and to enlighten us and to give us a view of what is happening in India, what is happening globally, what is happening in the industry at your end. And you have a great view of what is happening here and the opportunities that it presents us as part of that industry to contribute to and keep building for you. So thank you so much. And on behalf of Quantiphi and people here, as well as I think we have people online as well across Bangalore and everywhere. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming here and spending the time with us.
Yeah, thanks, Jayati. I think
been,
it's a pleasure. I think we have a very right mix of audience which is waiting till Friday evening 6 o'clock. So that itself is very good. And I've heard that people stay late till 2 o'clock or any time. So I think the company has got the right culture and they are there in the right field, which is AI. So my best wishes.
Thank you so much. Passion runs high. Yes, definitely passion runs high. And this has been extremely worthwhile, the kind of guidance and insights that you have given, because going back 20 years, those stories, very few people can tell now. So thank you so much and giving that context to us. Quantifieds, let's give a round of applause to Nishant for the time spent. Thank you so much, Nishant.
Thank you.